on to this tonight. That's what I might do. He's not very happy with me tonight. Anyway, to glue this up in here, these two pieces, it's going to be very awkward to get into. So I've decided to go with the old standard of the tube cement. Now this ain't very good, but in this particular instance, it's a perfect job. I can apply it in here, top and bottom, back and front. It won't go off. It will go off. Sorry, it will go off, but it will take a long time to go off. And that way, I can do the wing root with normal liquid cement. I do use this when I'm doing my boats because the hull needs a rather more strength. I usually apply a fillet of this down the seam of the hull to give it that extra bit of strength. Get them in the right place. Get them in the right place, Alan. Get them in the right place, Alan. Yeah. There we go. This one's quite tight, and it is there. So I'm going to hold that in there. I've just slipped it on. Now, the question is, what do I do with it? I think I'm going to get some tape for this. Oops, I haven't put the end over. Put the glue top back on. That'll evaporate if I don't. Right, the tube cement will take some time to go off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on here and see if I can just pull that in around it. Oh, nope, can't do it that way. Pull it in around that way. There we go. Right, tight there to pull it in. Scissors. Bit of a mess tonight. I'm going to clear up before I do any more. Okay, there we have that one in there. And we'll take it across the back end of this here. And just pull it tight over the top of this here and onto the top deck here. I think it's a bit of a waste using Tamiya tape for this, but it isn't. I can use sellotape, but it leaves the glue residue after you pull it back up again. Also, sometimes it just pulls off. It won't stay there. This will stay in place overnight quite easily. It won't come apart. Make sure that these are in line. Oh, I've bent that one. Just this one. I'm going to put a big clamp just in this area here. Don't need it on the back section, that's firm. So I'll leave that like that for now. Right, first wing, it's on there. I put some bead of plastic weld down the centre as well of this, and I had this clamped up and it's gone off and it's stayed in the right place, so I've taken those clamps off for the moment. Fairly happy the way that's turned out. It's really gone nicely together there. Makes a change. It does really make a change. There's a few gaps on the top surface where, to tell you the truth, I think I might have just sanded a wee tiny bit too much off one side there, but the bottom's perfect. The top, this side, is a good joint. I'm going to lose that seam down there. I'm going to have to put that back in again though, but that's easy enough done. That'll be fine. Like I said, the bottom ones, good. Again, I'm going to loose this seam down this side here. It really has filled right up. Let's just check, make sure we got a level aircraft. Anyway, that's the wings glued up. I'm going to pop those up there out of the way. Move that. So it's sitting flat. There we go. There's nothing interfering with the wings. Okay, right, here we go. The wings have been glued on now. And the underside has been polished. I put the pylons on. There's a couple more bits to go on here. A couple of air scoops I want to put on before I do the metallizer paint. But the small aerials that go underneath here, there's about 6 I think, I'm going to put on afterwards. I'm going to spray them with a metallizer on the trees and put them on afterwards, and hopefully I can touch them up. That way I won't knock them off polishing because I'll lose them. Right, wing roots, they have been done. It's a lovely joint. Liquid cement's gone in there, and there is no gaps in there except for on the top edge. The trailing edge just here and here have had a fractional tiny bit of filler. It's not the kit's fault, it's my fault. I think I must have rounded off the end slightly, and I've got a slight gap at this end when I was sanding. But the rest of it, as you can see here, there is not one bit of filler in there. I've still got to put the panel line back in on the top side. On the bottom side, I've actually done the panel lining. There's a little tiny bit of filler at this end and at the front end here on the wing root. That's because when I put the panel line back in, I found I got a couple of small little holes where the glue hadn't quite gone right into the joint of that section. So what I did, I just put a little bit of liquid putty in there and wiped it off with a cellulose and a cotton bud, and just run the pea cutter back down it again to make sure there's no more holes. That's about it at the moment. I'm taking a little break. All this polishing, which I've done, and I've got to do a little bit more now. It's taking its toll on my hands, so I'm giving them a bit of a rest. I'm giving them a day's rest, and I'll come back to it. And anyway, I've got to wait for the metallizer paints to come through, which I've been told will probably be Monday now. I ordered them on Thursday, but being Christmas and the postage being inundated with parcels, it's going to take a little longer than usual to come through. But having said that, it'll give me a little bit of a break. I can blacken all this up, blacken all the other parts I need to do, ready for the metallizer next week. I still have a few little tiny pieces to get on with. I've got to blacken everything with a gloss black so that I can put the metallizer on. I'll do that over the weekend. I've got the weapons here. They've got to be done. I'll put them to one side. I've also got the crew ladder, and this is the next part I'm going to be doing. If you notice, I've put some silver on this. I'm going to wear it away at them points, hopefully. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do... where is it? I've got it here. Excuse a second. Oh dear, here it is. I'll probably use this mask all on a sponge and pop that on before I put the red on, and I can take that off and leave the wear marks still there. Right, that little tip I told you about earlier in the videos is here. Now, I've got to do it again, so I wanted to actually show you how I do it. Let me come in a bit closer. Right, you've got the thin parts here. Now if you try and do this it bends the part, it could break it, especially if it's all enclosed all the way round. It will bend the part first because these are thicker. So what I do is I've got a little candle. Actually, I must get a new one. That's just like that there. I'll put an old blade on my knife here, and we'll bring the candle in. Just basically heat up your blade so it's nice and hot. You should see this start blooming on here. I hope you see that. And as soon as it is there, take it off and slip it through the part. There, just like that. I don't know whether you saw that actually. I'll do it again. Heat the part up and you can see the blade start blooming. You can see there. Now keep it on the heat, keep the part near the candle and bring it straight over and in through the small part there, and there's the part gone. It's clean, it hasn't broken apart, and it does it every time. Nice easy way of doing it. Again, anybody disbelieve me? Here's a part that's all enclosed. I'll do it on this one. Take the candle out of the way so you can see it. Again, heat the blade up so it's nice and hot. It doesn't take much, and whip it through the part. That is now free from the tree. If I take a clippers and I'll just clip that off there. Now, let's just pop that off there. There we have it. There we have it, nice and clean, without the part being broken. Right, I'll just do the rest of this. The candle's messing about on me. I've got to get a new one, like I said. I just use night candles. Right, that one didn't go quite the way through. I didn't have it hot enough, but it's gone halfway through. As I said, you can just repeat the process and keep on doing it until you get through. If you don't want to do it right near the part, you can do it over the section here. If I do another one and just show you that, what you'll have to do is repeat the process, because you won't go through the thick sprue straight away. As you can see there, I've gone about halfway through on that one. I'll probably reheat the knife as it is here, and again pop it through, and now that has separated, leaving a little bit on the side where you now can, if I just take the outside edge off, you can come in, where is it? You can come in with your sprue cutters and take that off. It doesn't break the part because all the pressure's taking off on the sprue side and flicking it away. I want to know where that goes. I'll probably find it tonight when I get to bed. So another useful area for doing this is like this ladder. Now I managed to take them all off so far, but the bottom one, as you can see here, I think you can see here. Let me put this up here so you can see it. You can see there, that bottom one's almost full with a sprue piece. Now you try and dig that out with a knife or something, it will break. Again, using the hot knife method, as I call it, I can get that part out without breaking the ladder. Simple as that. I don't know whether you saw that, but it's now gone. Two passes with a hot knife. It's popped out. It's left some little bit of clean up on there, but we can do that quite easily. Again, if you want to, you can just use your knife as hot and just run it through the side. Take that last bit off, maybe a couple of times. There we are. The knife's had it now. That's it. I'm gonna have to put the plastic on the end of the knife there. There we go. And we take it down, and it's minimal clean up now. But there we have it, nice and neat. And there we have all our parts ready to, they just need a slight clean up on the edge. You could do that with a sandpaper, or we can cut them with a knife if we want to, because the little pieces on the side are weaker than the inside piece, so you'll be able to do that quite easily. And we can just build the thing. Actually, I can still use my sprue cutter. I've got a flat edge there. Just take that off. There. And just clean the part up. Easy enough. There is another way of cleaning parts up. If you get them down to very small items that are left on there, just fraction piece. This one I could sand off, but just to give you some idea, you can use your liquid weld or liquid plastic, put a dab just on the end, especially on very delicate parts like here. Now, doing that, you can then let it settle there, melt the plastic, and you can come along with your knife and just scrape off the melted plastic so that it's down smooth again. Again, that method also works when you on small thin parts like this. If you have a small mould line that runs around the outside, again, wipe with some plastic weld or liquid plastic, liquid glue. It will melt the line down. Depending on how thick it is, one application usually does the job, and the mould line disappears because the plastic weld has melted that bit of plastic into the rest of it. Hopefully this will help you. Now I'm just going to put this together. Right, I've got it stuck together now. I've put some more silver on it. I'll have to let that dry before putting some of the mask oil on it, so I can peel it off after I've sprayed it red. All the steps are going to be silvered, so I've got to put the mask oil all down here and on the side rails and where the hands go, where the paint would be worn off. I've just got to let it dry for a couple of hours before doing that, and then I'll get on with spraying the red part. I've just glued the weapons halves together. There are pins and holes where the pins go into on the parts, but they're very slack. This doesn't matter, actually, it's better because you can actually move the part around a little bit so that you can line up the front and rear tubes, and also you can line up the sides as well on it. So in this particular case, it's the best thing of the lot. You can line up the whole weapons. I found that the ones without the fins on are slightly longer than the ones with the fins. The rear end, the jet end, as you call it, the jet motor end, lines up perfectly, but the front end has got a little step in it. But that can be easily taken care of when we put the glass nose cones on. Okay, now the weapons have all been glued up now with their fins. They're just drying. I've also, nearly dropped it there. I've cut the piece of the noses off the tree, leaving them on this piece of the sprue. It's easier to paint them this way. What I've done is I've used X27, the clear red, and painted just on the back end of the lenses. This way the lenses looking from the side are still clear, but when you look on them head on, as here, you get that red glow in it. Hopefully this is right. It's one thing that I haven't checked. I must go online and have a check to see whether these weapons had the red glowy noses.